Hello, this is Brittany Ruffin, and I'm doing my parent training on the Early Start Denver model. So, the Early Start Denver model is a model that's really good for children that are between the ages of 12 and 24 months. So, parents and therapists use this to increase the social interaction with students who have, or children who have autism. As we know, the students who have autism do not pick up on social cues, and so therefore they have limited social interaction. So the early Denver model is great because it helps them to be able to build those positive relationships, not only with their family but as well as with their peers as well. And it's really awesome because it can happen in natural environments like the home or the school. So it's able to go across multiple environments, and therefore, as we know, students really do well in a natural environment. And it's also really great because parents can do it. They can do it at home, and it's not just something that can be done in school or in therapy. It's been effective for a wide range of learning styles as well as disabilities, and it can help children progress, of course, with their social skills. So, people who provide this service, of course, can be psychologists, it can be ABA therapists, speech language pathologists, all, of course, who can do this. So, many studies have been done over this early Denver model, and have produced a lot of success for students. So the model that I'm going to implement today is going to be the back and forth model. So it's pretty much a natural play model that enables parents to have their children work with them and have them build their social skills. So the first thing you want to do is most importantly encourage eye contact. So as we all know, those of us who work with students who have autism, the eye contact is something that doesn't happen. So you have to make sure that they're engaging you, not all the time, just staring. That could be weird, but engaging you in eye contact. So you can start off. The game that I'm choosing is going to be the Dr. Seuss matching game. And so, pretty much with this back and forth, I'm going to be encouraging the student to, or my child to, play this with me. So, of course, with the matching game, you lay all the tiles out flat and you just keep flipping the tiles back and forth to see what is the matching tile pretty much. So what's really cool about this is that this can you can become frustrated. So what that is to happen, you have to encourage them like it's just a game, and you have to let them know like if you're screaming or if you're yelling, how do you think that makes me feel? And so back and forth, that's just part of it. If a challenging behavior arises. But back and forth is that you're having conversation with them. Like, what do you think is gonna happen next? Or I don't know. Oh, I must have forgot that. So you're having those conversations. So it's not that they're only participating in the game, but they're also participating in a good way. Okay. So that's how we do that. And also, you can pretty much change the theme of your activities as well. So we can even use stuffed animals. So while I was playing with the matching game, I would say, ooh, this matching game was really fun. How about we can play with the stuffed animal? So you want to transition the activity so the students are aware and it gives them time to process. And you want to give them more than just a couple of seconds. This is something that you want to give the students a couple of minutes and some time to think about. I love a 5-minute warning. And although most students at that age don't have a concept of time, they do understand that a warning is coming. So still while encouraging eye contact and while looking at them, I'm saying, oh, the matching game was really fun. I think it's time for us to play with the stuffed animals. And the students may say, okay, or they may say, oh, I'm not finished yet, or however, but they do know that another thing is coming. So when I think of change the theme, you can even talk about, man, I would really love to go to Disney World. I think we can play. Let's act like we're at Disney World with these stuffed animals. So you can play role play. You can go back and forth. The title of back and forth is just what it says. It's back and forth. You want the student to talk, you want them to talk back and forth. A lot of times with students with autism, you'll ask them a question and there's no follow up. So you can encourage them to say, hey, I've never been to Disney World. Have you? And they'll say no. And you can say, what's your favorite ride? What will be your favorite ride at Disney World? Or what would you want to do at Disney World? And they would say, well, I want to ride the rides, or I want to eat a corn dog. I don't know. And then they won't ask you anything in return. So you can say, oh, well, what do you think I would like to do? And they might say, what would you like to do? So it's engaging in those conversations to build upon them having social interaction later on. You also want to elaborate. As we know, students with autism, children with autism are very literal. So that means that they often answer questions in yes or no or one worded answers. But we really want to encourage them to elaborate on their answers. So, have you ever been to Disney World? And they'll say, no. And you'll say, well, do you want to go? And they might say yes. And it's like, when? So you just want to keep kind of asking those questions and just kind of encouraging them to give you more detail and give you more things about what they're talking about. So we also want to incorporate thinking. So if they're not socially interacting with other people, they're not having thoughts outside of their own. And as we know, we often learn and grow from other people and different ideas and things of that nature. So the way that looks like incorporating thought into something that, when playing a game with the student with autism, could be, do you think Mickey Mouse likes to go to bed early? I don't know. That's just an example. But you're making them think about that. Like, I don't know. He never said. So you're challenging them to think about things like that. Also, it's when you're setting up these activities, it's a great idea to already have all your materials ready. So you're not having to go back and forth to the room and things like that, because we could lose the interest of the student that has autism. Another cool thing while we're transitioning, something as simple as a car. You can be playing with these, asking you to take a turn. Like, you've played and you've went down the stairs. Can I do it too? And they might say yes, and they might say no. If they do say no, you can just say, but that'd be really nice of you to let me play with that. And just kind of encourage them to kind of have that communication with you. So this is a really great way. Like I said, it's called the Early Denver Model. And it's something that's really amazing for children that have autism, because it incorporates those social skills. Children learn so much from each other. We're their best teachers. So it's really great for, not only do they learn from each other, they learn from us, they learn from their environment. So it's really great to incorporate learning in that environment as well. And so there's so many different activities that you can use this with. You just want to definitely encourage the eye contact. You want to have them, give them the ability to go back and forth with you, to look at you in your eyes, to have deep thoughts on the conversation, to take turns, to engage. Just think about you and I when we play games with someone, or even have conversations. We've all had conversations with someone that's been very one-sided, and it's just not fun. It's just not engaging for the other person. And it's the same for children. Children want to interact and talk with someone who are going to engage back with them. Now, we know that this will take time and it won't be perfect, but this model was created for this specific purpose, to help students who have autism, to help them be able to talk with others. So just to summarize everything, so the Early Denver Model, of course, it was created to help students who have autism to be able to react socially. The method that I chose was the back and forth, and the reason behind that is because it can be replicated in a natural environment. Now, we want to always get ready for our activities. We want to be set up before the child comes in, so we are able to maximize the time with them. We also can create a theme with the student, and also have ideas, expand on thought, elaborate. So asking more questions, probing, asking things that can't, not closed-ended questions, open-ended questions, so they have to formulate an answer and have to think about that. When we end the activity, we kind of want to prompt them and let them know, hey, we've had fun with this. Let's move on to the next thing. So yeah, that was my method on the early Denver model. I want to thank you so much for watching, and you have an awesome day. Goodbye.